disable that so I can focus. These are here. Newmont says, if you transform to brain combo, no hate ever. Eric says, weren't we talking yesterday about a third Beck? No, I added an additional model instead. Drizzle says, brain is a... Well, Drizzle, you have a really high opinion of brain because you play Esper brains. So, I think that you're biased, my friend, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not streaming this to convince anybody to play it, by the way. Never misplays. I'm not. If that's what you think, my friend, that's not the case. These are actually here on the curvature for affinity because you're casting the wear side, not the tear side. No, I'm not streaming this to get people interested in it. I'm streaming it because I need to work on it and play it. It's fine if you want to play it, though. I'm not trying to stop you. But I'm not necessarily working on these sideboard plans just to, like... If you don't think it's sweet, me telling you it's sweet isn't going to make you think that it's sweet. So, that's kind of my perspective on things when it comes to Magic. People like different things. If you like a burn deck, this is not really for you. Because, yes, it may have a couple burn spells in it. That is not the intention of the deck. So, you know. But anyways. Yeah, Brain's fun. I like Brain. It smooths out our draws. In the grind matchups, where both players are just like, oh god, we're both empty-handed, and just sitting there, it's fantastic, because you just scry. It's awesome. And I think now that I've, and whereas the Thopter Foundry, the Thopter Sword was, you're like, okay, I have a sword. This card does nothing. Or you're like, okay, I have a Foundry. This card does nothing. Now, granted, if the marriage of the two were to happen, like you have both together, you're like, yes, this is wonderful. That's not the case with Brain. Brain is different. Brain is like, oh, hey, you know what? I know you didn't draw the Beck yet. I get you. I got you. Like, the Brains are like, it's cool, man. Sean, it's cool. I got you. It's cool. I'm going to scry you to the other piece. Thopter Sword, they don't do anything to find each other. There's no, like, the card does not naturally help in finding the other piece. Neither of them do. Unless you start incorporating, like, Thirst for Knowledge, and then you can have, like, justification for running a high density of those cards. Like, in our testing, it was just so awkward. You'd be sitting there, like, top deck mode as a blue-red player, and you're like, okay, I have a Thopter Foundry. Okay, I'm dying. At least with Brain, I'm like, okay, every other turn, I'm like, I'm scrying. Oh, look, that's a card I don't need. Bottom. Oh, look, that's a card I don't need. Bottom. That's the card I need. Leave it on top. Cast it. Win. So. Yeah, Abrupt Decay is relevant. Believe it or not, there is a little bit more variety going on. Not everybody at the GP is going to be playing Jund. There is, though, also Abrupt Decay in Abzan Company. There's not Abrupt Decay, though, in Kiki Chord. There's not Abrupt Decay necessarily in Affinity. There's not Abrupt Decay in Infect. There's not Abrupt Decay in Burn. There's not Abrupt Decay in, Grixis, but they'll run Kolaghan's Command. There's not Abrupt Decay in other blue and red players. There's not Abrupt Decay in Merfolk. There's not Abrupt Decay in Ad Nauseam. They don't run Abrupt Decay in... I can do this for a while, but we can keep going. There's not Abrupt Decay in Tron, but we're scared of Tron for other reasons. There's not Abrupt Decay in Scapeshift. There's not Abrupt Decay in... what are some other decks people are playing? There's not Abrupt Decay in the weird Eldrazi Taxis thing. So, the fact that you're saying... Ooh, worry about Abrupt Decay? Like, against Abrupt Decay, I just side out the Brains, so... Millennium says, bounce in response. There's a way to cast Visions with Brain? Yes, there is. So the fact that you're saying Abrupt Decay is kind of everywhere right now is... I don't know if I agree with you, friend. I don't know if I agree with you, Numot. I don't think your real name is Kenji, though, is it, friend? Yeah, we're not up to that anymore, though. The Ancestral was just so bad when you don't have Braincestral. When you don't have this, plus a Sacrifice Engine or a Bounce Engine, plus the Ancestral in hand, it's just so bad. The Ancestral. It's fine if you know it's a grind, but if it's not a grind, it's just so bad. It was very bad in our testing. I love the card. I think it's great that they unbanned it. I don't know if it's going to have an impact in Modern. And unfortunately, I'm starting to come around to that conclusion when it comes to Thopter Sword. I love Thopter Sword. I played Tezzeret for years. In Legacy, though. And the thing about in Legacy is you have good draw spells to actually have the marriage of Thopter Foundry and Sword of the Meek. Lantern Control is sweet. Lantern Control does run some number of upticays. Thank you. That is another example. So we named 2 decks that are running a main deck Abrupt Decay. Sometimes Abzan Company will try to shove in a main deck Abrupt Decay or 2. That is 3 decks. That is 3 decks. There are so many other decks in Modern. So, no, I don't think it's crazy. And the Bird Cestral has been sweet. The Brain Cestral was not so sweet. Bird Cestral, though, is sweet. Brain Cestral was not as sweet. It took too many pieces. Bird Cestral is where it's at. Bird Cestral is where it's at. Brain Cestral was not so good, so... yeah. Living End doesn't run Abrupt Decay. Think there might be room for Thopter Sword and some sort of Grixis Brain? Yeah. No, Living End doesn't run Abrupt Decay. They run Ingot Chewer, and sometimes they run Ingot Chewer main. That sucks. Yeah, that's exactly what we found, Willennium. Yep, Will. That is exactly what we found. But you know what? We tested it for about a week. Over the month that the card has come out. We tested that build for at least a week. Willennium. Brain Cestraling. Bird Cestral has just been better. Never Misplaced wants to see current Wizards. Am I too focused on this? I am. But I will still show it to you because I care about you. And I appreciate you. Never Misplaced comes here all the time. You come here all the time. I see your name up in here all the time. Alright, I got you, friend. The last version of Wizards? Where we left off, it was still a Drowsy Winter, man. I mean, we tried to rebrew it as... let's see, Dumbledore's Army. I tried to rebrew it out of reference to... I think it's down here now, actually. Oh, no, here it is. Oh, Dumbledore's Army. I think this is where we left off with it. Was this it Splashing White yet? No. We were still a Blood Moon variant. We were still having trouble choosing the last card to cut, is what was happening. No, that's when we started doing some cute things with it. Hang on a second. The last version that I actually took to a league was probably 1.9, or this version of 1.9. I think it looked like that. Nope, it looked like this. I don't remember that being in the main, so there we go. This was probably the last version. And then I was just having trouble figuring out what should be main deck, I think is what was going on here. Yes. We couldn't decide which of these needed to be main. Oh, nope. There's a Basilisk Collar, so nope, this was not the version. Was it this one? It was this one. Yep. Oh, that's why these all... I was letting somebody borrow one of my sun droplets. Okay, so that's why all of these got axed. What's this found it? Oh, Bird Brain? Sean, what's our matchup against Wizards? Might be prevalent, I doubt it. The only person that I'm aware of that has any reputation in the Magic community that played Wizards was Frank Lepore. He's like the only guy that I'm aware of that picked up my deck and played it. That I'm aware of. So, I don't think anybody else picked it up. If you guys know any other quote-unquote Magic players of fame that picked up the Wizards deck while we were jamming it, let me know. Because I can't think of anybody besides Frank Lepore. Yeah, it's because I gave it the second sun. Okay. I mean, I like the sun droplets, though. Here, I'll screenshot this for you then, friend. This is like the last one that I was taking to leagues before we switched it up and stopped playing the deck. I still own most of the pieces, gentlemen. Wizards may ride again one day. Dumbledore's Army may rise once more. But it needs to change because main deck bridge doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't make sense anymore, so... Wizards was so sweet, though. LSV played it once. What? What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Lewis Scott Vargas played Dumbledore's army. Never misplays. When was this? Because I was told only Frank played it. Lewis Scott Vargas played my brew? Do you have video evidence of that? Because I didn't hear that. He didn't tell me he did. I did not hear anything about that. You sure never misplays? I didn't catch wind of that at all. Yeah, screenshots or it didn't happen for sure. I don't necessarily believe you, friend. I'm sorry. I saw LSV playing Zards on stream for like an hour. I don't know if it was your brew. Zards? What's Zards? You mean wizards? Okay, are you referring to Dumbledore's army, or were you referring to what I brewed and that Frank played? Because it was a wizard deck. Okay, did it look like this? Because this is the one that Frank used. Dumbledore's Army version 1.9. I mean, I'm flattered if that's the case, but I don't believe you necessarily because nobody told me. Not that you guys tell me everything that's going on, but hide and seek. We're playing a little bit of hide and seek here. Oh, hide and seek as a split or fuse card that might be fun. It's a split card though. Just so you're aware, and I have the article right here if you want to take a look. Actually, you know, I'm going to turn this into a command. I'm tired of it not being a command. Add command, ask a judge. We're going to make a new command because I'm tired of... It's not that I'm tired of answering the questions, because I'm always happy to answer questions that you guys have. But I feel as though it's starting to take away from the stream, so we're going to make a new command. If you add white, would you remove red? If I add white, would I remove red? Yeah, I would. I would make it a non-Blood Moon variant. In fact, I think all that I would do is this. Also, the deck is worse because Lightning Bolt is back in a major way in the metagame. I would start to main deck another Spellskite. Yep. Yeah, I would cut red. Although red gives you not only Blood Moons, it gives you Wizard Staticaster. But you could consider cutting red if you wanted to. Let me brew a fresh version of this. I know a lot of you guys have missed the Wizards deck. I know. I know. I know. Is there any chance somebody could find that vid though? I'd love to see it. I was very excited when Frank played the deck. So if there are other Magic pros playing it, Einstein says Wizards. If there are other Magic pros playing decks that I build, I want to hear about that. I want to know about that. Never misplays. I want to know. I want to know. Like when Frank was streaming it and I was streaming it at the time, everybody came in and was like, BrewSpy, you're not going to believe this. I was like, what? And I didn't believe them. I actually had to go to the Frank Lepore stream and realize that he was playing my deck. They were like, dude, you got to check it out. Frank Lepore's playing Dumbledore's Army. And I was like, no way. He was like, yeah. And sure enough, he was playing it. But I don't know if I believe that Luis would play this. So, but maybe I should. Maybe I should believe that. So let's open a new copy, and maybe we'll brew this. What everybody wants to see this deck brewed is not a Blood Moon variant. Which I don't think is right for, you know, it's kind of like Bloodfish, I guess. It's kind of like Blue Moon meets Bloodfish, or, you know. Anyway. I think that Merfolk has gotten worse with Bolt being way more played in the meta again. So, with that, I would say that I think this deck is going to be overall worse in the new meta. I think it was kind of a meta call at the time because of Eldrazi, and having main deck Bridges and Blood Moons was fantastic. But we could still run Staticaster, by the way. We could be greedy and still splash a little bit of red, like Staticaster, maybe Grim Lavamancer. But I don't think we'd be running these tools. I mean, maybe the one of Cheaty Face Magus of the Moon. I wouldn't be running the Moons, though. I would be running a mana base that more enjoys the Caverns, because Counter Magic has indeed come back to Modern. So we'd embrace the Caverns. We would run a different mana base that wasn't about the Blood Moons and the Bridges, and we'd probably just cut these. Unless you want a Vandal Blast as well. So probably cut the Moons and the Bridges. And then go with like Reflector Mages and Meddling Mages. So you get some cool stuff. You get like better sideboard hate for Affinity.